Hi, good evening. I'm Elises Tutorials. I'm an educational consultant and a tutor from North London, Edgware. So I'm basically your educational coach, and I'm really enjoying these YouTubes with you, and thank you for sharing and supporting. I'm really very grateful of that. I'm back here to do some more story writing planning with you, and I did mention in my last YouTube that I would show you this book, which I think is a very important book, Mindmaps by Tony Buzan, and I deal with this a lot in my classes, and I think it's a very, very useful book to buy. There is a section in this about the lost jug. I've changed the title on my story plan, which I'll be picking up in a moment for you, and I've called it the blue vase, and I've called it the magic jug. So blue vase or magic jug on my plan choice. But in this book, he deals with the lost jug, and it gives your children so many good ideas on how to plan and what they could possibly put in their stories. Of course, I've already done this one with my children in my school, and so I've moved on to different titles. But if you look at this and buy this book, it will really be helpful to you. But here we go, and there's a lot here. There's some ideas regarding the owner of it, a wizard, who's a very trendy skateboarder, and the jug itself is described as blue-chipped, talking. It makes spells, it makes wishes, it's 500 years old and it's very valuable. And we've got a bald, dishonest, short, fat, 55-year-old shopkeeper who is not very happy at losing it. We've got Mr. Brown involved as well. So the story becomes quite complex, and my children have developed the technique now of quite complex story writing via these books and myself. Now, I am really keen on story writing. For me, creative writing is a very, very essential step in a child's program and progress. And I start story writing with children from the ages of 4 and 5. We do them out of a story bag first. So we have put lots of characters in a bag. We get them out, we have them talking to each other. We always have a beginning, middle and end, so that the story has a good, safe ending and a very good, solid beginning. I always start my stories with the weather, with children, even quite young children, because I want them to explain what the outside world is like around their story. So, you know, this is the plan I've used in the last 2 YouTubes on story writing. The first one was a skimpier version of this. This is my more elaborate version, but you will see that in that section I do always say introduction to be the weather, and I deal with it was blowing a gale, or a sunny day in July, or a grey cold autumnal day, or the dew covered the leaves as the sun ventured out. So the reader automatically knows what season they're in and what the weather is like. A sunny day in July tells you you're in the summer. A grey cold autumnal day could give you a number of months. So it makes your children seem much more well-read and have a good general knowledge to the reader, especially if that reader is an examiner. I always get them to close their eyes and describe the subject, whatever that might be. And in this case, as we've already discussed, blue vase, magic jug, spooky house. But it could be a number of things: magic tree, a river, a mountain, just lots and lots of different things. Of course, if you are dealing with a beach or a mountain, you need to be able to describe it. This, in my opinion, is a very, very good book for descriptions. It's called a Descriptothaurus, and I really do think all children should have this in their household, and it really enables them to use really, really good language. The thick forest, the spidery tangle of trees, bushes, thorns. It's absolutely incredibly useful. Look, I've just opened it on the rain, mist and fog. Gives you lots and lots of words. Sky, clouds, rain, sleet, hail. All words children should have in their everyday vocabulary. So for me, story writing, creative writing really imperative, really important. The way you do it well, is through good planning, through good vocabulary, and that's another area today I would like to deal with particularly. Vocabulary for me is absolutely essential, that your children understand and have a good vocabulary. For example, if I take the word depend, that is the root word. If I use depend with dependable, independent, dependency, those meanings change completely. And so that's what vocabulary is all about. Your child being able to switch from one word to another and not get confused in the same root word or the same family of words. And of course, another aspect of that is spelling, be able to spell it right. But that, let's leave that for another YouTube and not get too confusing. Vocabulary for me is a very, very important part of your child's education, the development of it. And I have put together lots of different vocabulary packages for the children I teach at Elises Tutorials School. And I call it Elises Tutorials, English Made Simple. And they learn everything they need for the 11 plus in this series, which I have only got available for my school at the moment. But I will try and bring to you via my YouTubes and give you ideas on how to use the topics I present. This book is all about vocabulary, and I believe that when your child is writing a story and needs to explain and describe the setting of the place, whether it's the house on the hill, in the valley below, at the top of the mountain, your child within that plan needs lots of vocabulary words for the setting, which is has to be quite elaborate if the story is going to be real and intensive. So for example, with the farm, we have here all farm related words that will help in a day in the life of a farmer, for example, or the story about the magic scarecrow. It becomes a much more interesting story with the correct vocabulary. And just to go through some of it here, we've got animals, apple tree, barley, barn, beehive, calf, carrots, cart, cat, cockerel, combine harvester, corn, cow, crane, dairy, dog, eggs, farmer, farmhouse, foal, cheese, geese, goat, grain, granary, greenhouse, harvest, hay bale, hen house, horse maze, milk tanker, oats, because of course milk is made in the dairy. Some farms have it, some farms send the milk to the dairy. Pig, piglet, pigsty, plough, poultry. That word I've mentioned a lot in my YouTubes because a lot of children don't know what poultry entails. Rake, sack, scarecrow, sheep, shovel, spade, silo, stables, tractor, trailer, wagon, water, wheat trough and windmill. And water trough, of course. So we have a whole area here which makes writing easier. And the activity here is a farmer's life is a tough one. It starts at daybreak and finishes at twilight. Research his tasks and pretend you are a farmer giving an account of your day. In this book, I have lots of different topics, and I would like you as a parent to get together your own book and to get all these topics I have written about and collected words for, and do the same with your child. Use encyclopedias, use dictionaries. My next important topic is the supermarket. Every topic has a related exercise. Here it's a shopping list. But again, lots and lots of things you'd need at a supermarket or see: scales, sign, till, basket, trolley, to mention just a few. My next topic is the beach, and I love this topic because I get them to use their 5 senses at the seaside always. But again, pedalo, promenade, children don't always know what these are: pavilion, swimming ring, for a just very normal word, volleyball, vacation, water skier. Again, just to mention a few. And that old saying, old line from an old English song, "Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside." Makes it all that bit more interesting, I think. Then we've got at the harbour, and we've got all the things you would find there, from a lighthouse to a dinghy to a fisherman to a ferry to a fishing rod to a fishing boat. And moving up, we've got the classroom and all the aspects of British life, how people in Britain do things. In the community, British people are taught not to throw litter. British people accept you have to queue. British people treat their pets like family. British people are tolerant. British people carry an umbrella a lot of the time, which is true because I always take an umbrella even when I go to a hot country on holiday. Just can't help myself. I think it's because of the rain we have here all the time. But anyway, here are all related words. To cut a long story short, we have lots of topics here. Moving through an adventure playgrounds, the park, the countryside, city life, markets, the marketplace. Again, general knowledge is so important, and I'd like you to help your children collect this vocabulary. I'd like you to help them understand things like, for example, people on holiday visit markets because they show the traditions of that country in a vibrant and enthralling way. Morocco is famous for its souks, Turkey for its bazaars, and Germany for its Christmas markets. Established markets like Camden and Portobello Road have not changed for many years and show what a London street market is really like. And of course we've got flower markets, we've got food markets, and children learn the difference with all that. Building site, the building site's a very important topic I find for children in my school when they're writing about houses, and art galleries and museums. The restaurant is another topic I'd like you to collect words on. At the restaurant, the kitchen part of the restaurant's very important, different type of chefs in the kitchen and all the different cutlery and utensils that are used. And of course another topic is a hotel, airport, safari park, zoo, football stadium, hospital. Again, related words that are very, very important for their vocabulary. The space station and general vocabulary related to places and some questions. But the whole point of this, of me showing you this, is helping you to develop your children's vocabulary, to give them an extensive vocabulary. You can do this at home. You don't need my book. You can collect this vocabulary through different books, through different encyclopedias, by Googling. Just set yourself a collection of words, situations, and your children will be able to write stories or plan stories like this so easily. I'll be taking you through all the different steps of story writing in a more intensive way, examining the beginning, the middle, and the end separately in my next few YouTubes. I say good night to you now, and good learning and good studying with your children. Please email me if you'd like to know more. Thank you.